Performance is always a priority. In order to always look for a solution that benefits us in this way, we must think ahead. Let's imagine we have a massive amount of suggestions made by our employees. Our system in that case would gradually become slow if table indices or indexes weren't configured correctly. So in order to prepare for that kind of situation, we're going to create the indices beforehand. Since we're already in the dictionary manager, let's head over to the employee suggestion section and click on the indexes tab in our right view. Once there, we can click on our plus button, which will open up a model that prompts us to choose a type. We are going to select the foreign type, which will ensure that deletion of entries is going to be made in both ways, so that we always have data consistency. Putting it in simple terms, it just means that we are not going to be able to delete an employee if we previously didn't delete their employee suggestions. In the next window, we'll be prompted to further describe the indexes. The name is already generated, but we are going to add employee ID to it, as it is the field that is responsible for the connection between the two tables. IDXFKTWE employee suggestions, employee ID, should be the end result. The item, in this case, is going to be the employee ID. The foreign definition should be employee, and the foreign item is going to be ID. Once everything has been filled out and the add button has been clicked, we activate our indexes by clicking on the yellow light bulb and turning it green. To complete the database configuration, the only thing left to do would be setting a primary key. The primary key will ensure that we don't have any duplicates in our database, and it always needs to be unique. We again click on the plus button, but this time in the type model, we are going to select the unique option. The naming convention for the primary key is our module name, in lowercase, plus EK for primary key at the end, implying that it's a primary key and that we know what to search for. In the available items window, we are going to drag the ID to the items in index window, like so. Many columns could have the same entry, but the ID stays unique. This is why it is the only thing that fits this purpose. After clicking the add, we can activate our index and move to our Fields tab, where we can see more information about our table. If we go to the employee, for example, and move to the fields, it will give us a better representation of what's happening. Columns with the background color of green represent items defined through the dictionary manager. Orange in this case means it was created through the old implementation of var defs. Those fields are statically defined in the codebase of SpiceCRM. We can filter the table based on their name, domain, field, or source. In case we encounter problems with our table, the repair button will run the create function and ensure that the table is correctly created. Reshuffle will sort the items based on their priority in the table. For example, if the ID is not on top, it will be after the reshuffle button is clicked. On the other side, we can see that we have 3 icons and each represents the state of an item in our table. In the case that an item is checked under the first icon, it indicates that the item is defined in the dictionary manager. The middle icon implies that the item is in the cache table, ensuring optimal performance. And the last icon shows if the item is directly related to the selected table. For example, if we look at the relationship items, employee and employee name, back in our employee suggestion, we can see that these items are not represented in the table, but are still within the scope of this table.